Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's video. It is Friday. It is February 4th, and I'm at the corner of Bloor Street and Yonge. So today we are journeying further along Yonge, or rather on a different section of Yonge Street. This is just a follow-up video to Loving Yonge Street. So I do plan on doing two videos, so from Bloor to St. Clair, and then St. Clair to Eglinton. And I left home probably about 45 minutes ago. I walked from home down to Yorkville along Avenue Road in order to film this video going northbound on Yonge. When I left home, it was -12, and the sun, just like moments ago, has really decided to appear. You can probably see it on the snowbank. It was somewhat sunny when I left home, but now it's really sunny. You can see the sun just peering around that building. And here we are at the Toronto Reference Library. It is a beautiful winter's day. And it's about the same temperature as last week's video along College. There's every so often I feel a bit of a breeze, if you'd want to call it that. It's barely rather there, but every once in a while I feel a bit of a breeze. So last night, as you know, if you're watching from Toronto, you know that we did get another snowfall, but not nearly as heavy as the one we received 2 weeks ago. I think that was that around 50 or 30 centimeters? I think that last one. Anyhow, we did get a big dump of snow 2 weeks ago, and then last night just a fairly mild one. But we went out for dinner last night to one of our favorite restaurants called Grazie. It's just north of Eglinton on the east side, sort of near Broadway Avenue. And it's about maybe a 15-minute walk or so from our house to the restaurant, and it was snowing out. And I really felt for the vehicle traffic, because it seemed to have been causing a little bit of chaos on Yonge near the restaurant. So we were sitting at the window, and the traffic was pretty stalled, it seemed. There was one vehicle that was sort of was about to go down a one-way, the wrong way. I don't think the driver realized that Broadway is now one-way, eastbound, or westbound rather. And I'm not sure if he turned off of Yonge to go down Broadway eastbound, or if he came from Montgomery, which is the other side of Broadway. It's called Montgomery, just off of Yonge on the west side of Yonge. But we saw him, or her, I don't know. He decided, or she decided, to try and go down Broadway, and it is a one-way, and realized that couldn't get through, and he sort of went up on the bank of the sidewalk. Well, you know, the bank of the road where all the snow was piled up. Anyway, yeah, so that caused a little bit of angst, I think, with some of the drivers that were on Broadway trying to get around him, and some of the drivers on Yonge, certainly at the lights, that were trying to get around him from the other side. So anyway, I think it was a bit messy traffic-wise, certainly in that neighborhood last night. But we had a very nice meal. It was our first date anniversary celebration dinner. We go there every year for our first date anniversary dinner. Mind you, we couldn't go last year, so what we did was we just ordered and picked up food and brought food home and celebrated at home. But it was nice to be back there and being able to celebrate in that same restaurant. But the sidewalks are much clearer today than they were 2 weeks ago when we received that big dump of snow. That was pretty major. And there have been snow trucks, city trucks collecting some of these big mounds that you can see here of snow off the side of the roads. In many spots, they're cleared away. At least large portions are cleared away. Let's try and make that walk. Here's the Bud Sugarman Park. So as you can see, just by the tractor marks here, snow has been piled up here to get it out of the way, I guess. And this is the Rosedale subway station. They are doing some upgrades to this subway station, although I'm not sure what it is that they are doing. But it's been under construction, I think, since late summer, maybe. It's been several months. I rarely ever, got off on this subway, at this subway stop, or even got on it. I think I did actually hop onto the subway here when I was walking home, and the weather changed on me. Like, I think it was a major rainstorm and I had nothing to protect myself, so I had to always reluctantly hop onto the subway to get home without being drenched. There's Ramsden Park just across the street here. That's a beautiful park. I'm always reluctant to take the subway just because I would prefer to walk. I do want to do a walk in the beaches, probably in the spring maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm debating whether I should take the subway there do a video there and then take the subway back, or if I should just drive. Probably the right smart thing to do would just be to drive. We watched, David and I watched a series. I think it was a 6-parter. I think it's on Netflix. Pretty sure it's a Netflix series. It's starring Kristen Bell. And it's called, and I'm going to butcher this title, it's called something to the effect of A Girl in the Window Watching a Woman in the Window. It's something like that. If you Google that title, or if you Google Netflix Kristen Bell, you'll see the series pop up and it will tell you exactly what it's called. But it is a long title and it does sound like that. A girl in the window watching a girl in the window. Anyway, I think it's about 6 parts. And I think they're maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes maybe per episode. Anyhow, it's about this woman, Kristen Bell, who's the lead character, and how she witnesses a murder. It's a bit quirky, okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. It's a bit quirky, this show. She witnesses a murder. She has a lot of anxiety issues that they are explored throughout this series. And so it makes everybody question whether she actually witnessed this murder or whether it was just an anxiety. Because she developed a pretty severe anxiety issue after a tragedy in her life, and a tragedy, of course, in the character's life, and so everybody's questioning whether she's actually witnessed this murder, or it's because she's taken a lot of medication to help with this anxiety and dealing with the tragedy that she endured. So there's a lot of question around that, and her behavior is odd. So yeah, everybody's sort of questioning what she sees. Anyhow, let's get to the point here. I'm not going to give anything away really, but there is a surprise ending. And yes, it's a surprise ending, and in my view, it was disappointing. I don't think the series was a disappointment in general. Overall, it wasn't. We both, liked it. It wasn't, a love. It was a like. But if you don't mind a little bit of quirky murder mystery, then you might like this particular little series. I think Kristen Bell, I think she's a good actress. I've never been disappointed in her acting. There was another series that she starred with. Don Cheadle was the other. I think Don Cheadle was the lead actor, I think. Can't remember the name of the series though. They were, I think, in advertising or consulting of some kind. Kristen Bell and Don Cheadle, and there were other main characters as well. And it was, I think it was a few seasons. Darn it, I can't remember what it is. But if you Google Don Cheadle and Kristen Bell, it will tell you what the name of that series was. But it was pretty good. Dave and I quite liked it. And that was a few years back, by the way. I have no idea if it was Netflix or what it was. But yeah, it seems like it was like certainly more than 5 years ago. But it was good. I liked that as well. We both liked it. That series, what was the name of it? Anyway, that was good. Oh, look at it, it's so bright. This is the Summerhill Hill liquor store. If you're looking for a really good selection of wines, they have a very good selection of wines. And I know really nothing about wine other than, you know, white and red wine. And one year for David's birthday, I wanted to get him like a really good vintage wine. And I did a little bit of research on my own, but I also went there to that liquor store, that Summerhill LCBO, and they have a sommelier, however it's pronounced, which I've just butchered. You know, a wine expert. Just butchered that. And I remember him being really helpful in helping select a good vintage wine. So what's going on down here? More construction. A lot more construction. Oh, so just looking at that gorgeous dog there. On my way walking down Avenue Road, I came across a beautiful puppy. She was a golden retriever, just about 4 months old. Her name was Juno, and she had this beautiful golden, almost auburn colored coat. Just a fun-loving pupster, and so we had a nice little visit. The guardian allowed me to say hello and do a little bit of playtime with that little furry, and I'm wearing a black coat, and the puppy was, you know, I have a lot of, what should I call them? My daily medals. I'll call them my daily medals. Paw prints all over my coat, and puppy goober all over my gloves. Yeah. My coat and gloves were covered in puppy medals. Always so happy, puppies. So happy to interact. Oh, she's a gorgeous little girl. Yonge Street is probably my most walked street. Yonge Street takes me everywhere I need to go most of the time. Oh dear. So, as I was saying, I just cut that out. A little piece out, so there's a little blip there. I didn't want to get people on camera who might not want it to be on camera, so that's why I cut that out. Anyway, yeah, Yonge Street is my most traveled street in the city. I live very near Yonge Street, and most of the places I need to go to, Yonge Street will, to at least some point, take me there. So yeah, I always travel Yonge Street, but it's good to see. I think I've recorded I actually have recorded Yonge Street before, going southbound. I think I did that in the spring, or maybe the spring, or early summer, late summer. No, yeah, early summer, late spring, maybe. But it's good to see Yonge Street different times of the year. And it's even better walking Yonge Street different times of the year, but hopefully you enjoy walking Yonge Street with me. I certainly love recording for you and having you join me. This condo building here, right across the street here, that used to be, there was a low-rise building there. I think maybe 3 stories, or certainly not as tall as what exists now. Used to be a radio station. Don't remember which one, but it was a radio station. But then they tore it down and built this rather big it's taller in the back, but the street facing, it's I think only 4 stories, but it's taller behind. So that's been erected now for maybe 2 years. That's being, I think, a bit generous. I think less than 2 years. I think people started moving in maybe last spring. Could be wrong, but certainly not more than 2 years old. I mean, it's been under construction for a long time, obviously, but I don't think they actually had residents living there until about maximum 2 years ago. Right here, this used to be a Starbucks. That's been shut since I think early pandemic. Early 2020, at the time of the pandemic. This was torn down this past summer, I think. This empty lot you see here. And I remember right on the corner there, there used to be a dog boarding, dog grooming, I think dog babysitting as well, spot. But there was also shops along here too. There was another low-rise construction. I'm just assuming it's condos that are going to be rebuilt there. And I don't know if you can see, but across the street there where it's the Home Hardware, you may not be able to see it, but there is a notice board for a new building site. So you can see this is only 2 stories across the street. No longer acceptable by Toronto standards. I'm going to tear it down, and it looks like a fairly tall building that's going to be erected in place of that low rise. Yeah, is it just a matter of time for these other low rises, I wonder? You can see these older buildings here, 3 stories. Here as well, along here. Let me show you. You can see they are low rises. Wonder how much longer they are going to be around for. Oh. This place has been empty for a long time. It used to be a cute restaurant. We never went in, but it always looked really cute from the outside. And this used to be like a dollar store, and it's been closed up for quite a while now. Yeah, what was this? Long ago, this used to be a Bank of Montreal. Long ago. And then it changed to something else. I think there was a karate studio here at one point. And this whole front end here, this has all been redone. This corner has all been redone. It always was a Scotia Bank here, but I think it's just the exterior that they changed. And possibly, I'm sure, part of the interior as well. Oh, there's an organic bread store there. Just gonna check it out and do a little bit of window shopping. Yummy. I try not to buy bread, but that looks awfully tempting. It's yummy. Here we are at St. Clair, folks. We are at St. Clair and Yonge Street. This concludes episode 4 of Loving Yonge Street. And I will see you hopefully in my next video, episode 5, walking from St. Clair to Eglinton. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.